Hey guys, what's going on? Daley Tactics here, and today's video is going to be a little different. I get a lot of requests to show you guys how I make the battles that I do, so I thought I would go ahead and just sort of show my process as I make a battle here. The first thing you're going to need is Men of War Assault Squad 2. On Instant Gaming, it's like $7, and they're sponsoring my channel for the next 2 months, so I highly recommend you pick it up there because then maybe they'll sponsor me longer. Woohoo! But yeah, Instant Gaming's great because I've used it myself. It's not a scam or anything like that. They sell Steam keys for really inexpensive prices. My theory on what they do, I think this is how they do it, is they just buy a ton of keys when there's a sale or something like that, or they have a direct link to the developer or something, and then they sell them at really low prices. So I'll put the link to that in the description. Either way, you need Men of War Assault Squad 2. You need to open up the editor. And you need the Star Wars Galaxy at War mod, of course, which the Guiles 14 has an amazing tutorial. You should go check out that tutorial on how to install that. But once you have all of those things installed, loaded up, you should be at this screen where I am right now, and we'll get this started. So what I wanted to do for a video was sort of a large-scale battle, just to be able to show you guys all of the features in this. So you press escape like this, then you get the map editor menu. Then you want to go to load, and you might not have all of these maps here because I have a lot of maps that you can find on the Galaxy at War Discord server that don't come pre-installed, but you might have a couple in this little menu. But if you want to go into like Star Wars Galaxy at War, you'll have all these. If you want to go into community maps, you'll have all these. Others has some good ones. Sam is Mighty Mapper 123. If you hop in there, you'll get to see all of Mighty Mapper 123's maps. These ones are very nice. Yeah, there's a whole lot of maps that come pre-installed in the mod, so you probably won't need to install other ones. So what I like to do is just sort of like pick a map. I know most of these maps, so I know which ones I don't want to use. But there's so many. I don't know all of them. But you just kind of want to find the right map. So peruse around a little bit, shop around, and then you just click on it, and then you click OK, and it'll load it up. So Hoth Base V1. Let's give that a shot. Let's see what that is, see if we want to use this for the map. So you'll get this loading screen. Be patient here. It can sometimes take a while to load up a map, or it can be really fast. This one seemed to be pretty fast. So I've actually used this map in a former video with a snowtrooper assault, so I don't think I'll use this one again. It's a really good map, but I don't particularly want to use it again. So you can press escape, and you'll notice that it brings up this. This is not what you want to load another map. So what you want to do is you want to click F2, then escape, then you get that map editor menu once again. So I'll be right back. I'm just going to pick a map, and we can move on from there. Alright guys, so I decided to settle on a map called Ahoron City. It is in the base game if you want to use it. I decided to do one of those just in case if you want to follow along with me here. So you have your map picked out, and you've got it all loaded up here. You're going to want to press F3. Then you're going to want to go ahead and press escape, click save as. You might have a couple of these here, but you're going to want to go down to the file title name and name it whatever you want. I'll just name it 1. Why not? Press OK. Then you go press escape again while still in F3. Go load, and then click on the thing you just saved. So mine is called 1, and you'll reload this map here. This actually is important for a couple of reasons. I don't know exactly what it does, but it makes it so when an explosion hits the ground, it'll leave a crater, and it won't have this weird like lump in it. I don't know how to describe it. Or when you have trenches, it'll dig out the trenches and not fill them up if you have trenches on the map. If you've seen what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, and this is how you fix it. But it's an important thing to do. I highly recommend you do it each time. Okay, so now you might notice that the sky is black. That's because we haven't selected a sky box, and you might also notice that the water has these like weird black and white sort of rectangles in them. I don't know if you can see that okay. So to get rid of that, you're going to want to press F6. It brings up this little environment panel. And you have a bunch of preset skyboxes for different maps, basically. So you can click through them, pick the ones you like. Certain ones will not have the water. So if you do have water on your map, be sure to pick one that does have the water texture. These are all examples of ones that don't. This one does, but it's really dark. And it tends to be with the Star Wars mod, if you pick a dark map, you're going to get more lag. If you if you pick a dark skybox, you're going to get more lag because there's more shading with the blaster fire and light. So I tend to pick light ones just so I get less lag unless I'm doing a small mission, something like that. I'm just going to pick Bocage for now. This is a good bright one. I've used it previously. We are in the desert, so it sort of makes sense with that. I don't know. Might change it later on if I don't dig it anymore, but for now it's looking pretty good. I like it. I like. All right, so now we want to just quickly survey the city, just to sort of check out what we're dealing with here. This is just sort of the process I go through. So I want to make this into a Clone Wars battle, and right away I'm seeing an Imperial ship here. So I'm going to go into F2 mode, and I'm just going to click this Imperial ship, and I'm going to click the delete key. That just gets rid of it. It just doesn't fit with the time. I mean, I might even go ahead and just add an LAAT. Going into that F2 menu once again, you go down to the bottom to this little search bar, click LAAT, enter. No, that didn't work. Okay, LAAT. It's in lowercase and it's case sensitive. Okay. Click on the LAAT. You just plop it right down there. Click again. There you go. That looks nice. A little LAAT action. You can have a second one across from it. Click again. You can click on it and then hold C, and that will rotate it. So you can go ahead and rotate those around. All right, so I've got my two LAATs here. Nice little details like that sort of make the maps nicer. The rest of the map is looking okay. I'm not seeing any sort of signs of Imperial forces, or if they were, they're not that noticeable, so it doesn't really matter too much. So now what I like to do is start sort of figuring out what I want to do. So obviously, I want to have infantry. I've been doing a lot of clone defenses lately, so I'm going to switch it up, and we're going to do a droid defense, I think. So why don't we go ahead and start spawning in some droid units here. So in that F2 menu, oh, by the way, this little clip camera position button at the top right, that's really helpful because it can unlock your camera. So now I can zoom all the way out with it unclicked. But if I click it, then I can only zoom out to here. So I tend to unclick camera position. You kind of have to fuss with the camera a lot in this game. So sometimes it's helpful, sometimes it's not to have that checked or unchecked. All right, so in that F2 menu, go to Human, Single, Star Wars, CIS. Now it'll pop up with some units. I might have some more units than you if you haven't installed other texture packs or things like that, but you should have the majority of the ones I have. So you can click B1 battle droids, and these are your standard droids. You got officers here, white infantry, blood force, camo forest force, Geonosian infantry, grim droids, normal infantry, security droids. I'm going to say let's go with Geonosis infantry, and we're going to do no pack, no backpack. No pack means no backpack. I'm just going to spawn in a clump of droids. So get some E5 units. Those are the backbone of the droid army. That's the weapon we see the most in the Clone Wars. So just spawn in a bunch of those by clicking on them and then clicking the ground. Bow rifles, we see a few of those every once in a while, so I'll spawn a couple of those in. They're a bit more heavy hitters. E5 Legendary and E5 Shotgun, I don't enjoy using those too much, so I don't tend to spawn them in. Every once in a while I do. Bazooka is the bazooka unit. We will get a few of those. Yeah, get a few of those. Then the E5 Sniper, why not? That's another heavy hitter, so only a couple. E5 Type 2, that's a good all-around weapon. We'll get a bunch of those in there. Okay, E6 Type 2, That's like a semi-machine gun type thing. Not the greatest weapon, but we'll spawn a few of those in. E6 Type 3s, similar to the E6 Type 2. E6 Type 4, that's a really heavy machine gun, so maybe just 3 of those. E7 Sniper, another heavy hitter, maybe just 3. SE9 is a pistol, just a couple of them, just to sprinkle in some variety, but not too many. Okay, so we have our Geonosis infantry here. How about we get some officers in there? So we go to officers, Geonosis. What's the difference between these two, actually? One's got a pistol, one doesn't. Well, let's get, I don't know, 3 in there. And then we'll also sprinkle in some commando droids. Why not? We'll just do normal commandos. Give them some E5s. Maybe some E5 Type 2s. E6 Type 3s. I don't know. Just sprinkle in some random commando droids in there. Not too many to overwhelm the standard battle droids, though. Okay. So we got those guys in there. Now, I'm going to just go ahead and select them all. Do Control-C. Copied 99 units, so there are 99 troopers on the ground currently. I'm just going to do Control-V. And this will spawn in more. I can always delete them later. There we go, they spawned in. And if you copy a large section of units, then can take some time to place them, so just be wary of that. Okay, so we got a lot in here. Gonna select them all once again. And we're gonna go in this right panel where it's properties for 198 human, meaning there's 198 spawned in right now. We have them all selected. So we're gonna go to player. We're gonna click this little dialog box. It gives us some options, all these different colors. These correspond to player numbers. So red's player 1, green's player 2, yellow's player 3, blue's player 4, and so on. There's a lot of numbers. We will make these guys player 1. So now they are set to team 1. Then we're going to go ahead and do movement mode hold. That means they won't be wandering around on their own. They'll stay where they are in their positions, and they're on a defensive mission, so kind of makes sense. Since they're defense, none of this other movement stuff really matters, since we already have them on movement mode hold. Yeah, we're all set for now. We're going to go ahead and select them all, and just press U, the letter U, and then 6. And then this little tags of selection screen comes up. Just gonna type 1 and then click add. Then click OK. Now all of these are designated with 1. We'll get into that stuff a little bit later, but just do it for now. It'll help you out later. And also, if you want to switch your teams around, use the numpad. You have to have a numpad. And sometimes, even if the numpad isn't working and it's not letting you switch between the teams, you sometimes have to have number lock enabled, and then you might be able to switch around. But as you can see, I'm going team 0, team 1, team 0, team 1, team 2, team 1. And you can see that they are assigned to team 1. I can select them. I can move them around if I want. That kind of good stuff. Okay. So now I think we're ready to start placing some units. And there's a decent bit of cover over here. The ramp sort of leading up into the city doesn't have a lot of cover, so I might want to figure out something to put there. But for now, why don't we start by just placing some troopers on these bottom bits here, so we can just go ahead and select a squad, move them. I like to sort of disperse the troopers around quite a bit, so they're not all stacked up into one location. I like to get some variety in there, so make sure you're selecting commando droids and regular Geonosis droids. Because sometimes if you just select randomly into a whole group, it'll only pick one type of unit. So just make sure you're getting a handful of both in there, and you're placing them around. And this is kind of the fun, relaxing part of this. What I like to do is I like to just sort of like put on some music, put on a podcast, maybe listen to like Joe Rogan or Nerd Soup, and yeah, just kind of place them around and chill out. This can take really long if you're very meticulous about it, or if it's a very simple battle and you're just sort of mass spraying units everywhere, then it can take a very short period of time. It's up to you It's up to what you want to do. Yeah, let's get a commander droid down here amongst these ground troopers here. I think we should also get some in these rocks too. Why the heck not? Get some Rocky boys. Rocky Balboa. Yeah, so I'll just run. Maybe, do we want to get some on this side too, perhaps? Yeah. Send a few units that way too. Okay. And then we'll split these guys up amongst the rocks. Just to make it a bit more of a dynamic battle, have more more defenses in more places. I always think that's a good idea. Is the more spread out the defense is, the more fun it tends to be for the battle. Okay, and then on this this other side over here, we'll start sprinkling these guys around a little bit. Yeah, very, very nice. I like to sometimes do them in pairs. That way everyone has like sort of a little buddy with them, and they're not alone. I know they're fake characters, but it's fine. Let me have this. Let me have this. Okay, here we go. Sprinkle them around. That looks pretty good for the outside defenses. Now let's work on this ramp here. So press F2, and then you can close out that human box, and then go into Galaxy at War. I had vehicles open earlier from spawning in the LAT, so you can close that. Then go into Entities, then Props, then Crates. These crates tend to be really good for providing cover to droids and things like that. Galaxy at War crate is sort of the standard defensive cover crate that I tend to use in my videos. It's a good one. It works and looks well, so I like to use them. So we'll Control-C, Control-V a few of these around here. That looks pretty good. There's also some other ones. I like the R crate. R crate tends to be a cool one. It's got more of a metallic boxy look to it, so get a few of those in there. Why not? Rotate them around a little bit. Silo, we don't really need a silo. Oh yeah, the Republic large crate, that's a cool one. I don't use this one very often. I probably should. I like it. Some of these like props and entities and things like that in the game I sort of forget actually exist for a long time, and then all of a sudden I'll find them again, and then they'll be in like 10 videos in a row, and then I'm sick of them, so I stop using them. Something I also like to do is, you know, just sort of peel off stuff from the world around. You know, take these crates here. Control-C, Control-V. Oh, I took a little column with me. Whoops. Control-Z, 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 Control-Z. Control-Z is your friend. It undoes things. I don't want that column. So, oh man, I already spawned in droids here. That's always kind of annoying. How about these ones? Is this gonna spawn in a column if I Control-C and Control-V? No, that one's good. Okay, cool. So, Control-V over here. Plop that like that. We could also do like a little market stand up here. Yeah, just sort of mark it going up that way. I don't want to overuse the same stuff, so I'll go ahead and pick up this tent too. Did I take any columns? Nope. Okay, good. So we got this tent too, and yeah, maybe one there. Maybe connect it to this one here. Have a sort of a larger ongoing market. Like I said, you don't want to overuse assets too much, or else it looks too blatantly like you just copy and pasted parts of the map all around. So, you know, mix it up a little bit, make it look nice. I'll also get a speeder up here. This one's kind of tilted actually. So a trick with that is if the vehicles get tilted, just take a droid unit, or whatever unit you got, whatever you decided to throw in there, and just throw them in there. I'm going to fast forward. Press backspace to change the speed of what's going on. So if you're moving a unit up somewhere and you don't want to watch them walk for 5 minutes, just fast forward or whatever. There you go. They get in. They write it. And you can also move it around more meticulously or whatever. Just be careful not to crash it. Press G, click to get them out. Or you can manually get them out through the system that way. And you could also use these vehicles as cover, which is kind of neat. I like to do that. Here, this little droid boy can go chill behind that wall there. Okay. Still need a little bit more. Let's go back to our crates. No, that box doesn't really fit in here. That's too big. Sometimes you just gotta look around. I like this little box. That's a nice little box. Put those 2 of those there. I don't know. What else we got? What else we got? We could blend that one in with those 2, and then maybe put one in front. Just make things look a little bit more natural, like they're sort of stacked up together for a reason. Oh, this could go with the vendors since it's like a box of items. I like to do that. Galaxy War Crate Long. This one's a good one. This one's a good one. Let's stack them like that and then like that. Yeah, just sort of make it look like it was put there for a reason. And the droids are just sort of utilizing it as cover, but that's not its intended purpose. Or you can do stuff where it is their intended purpose and that it's quite clearly there for a reason. I mean, there's different ways you can go about making the map. You do it however you like to. No right or wrong way. It's whatever you like. Okay. At the top here, I'd like to do another line of Galaxy at War crates. I always think these Galaxy at War crates are a more official cover than sort of makeshift cover. These are things that the units drag around with them every which way to officially like cover themselves from the enemy. So put a nice row of them there, sort of like trenches or something like that. Then why don't we go ahead and toss a few around these city streets, sort of make them into like a foxhole dugout kind of a thing, and maybe some here. So something I've never done with this map is actually tossed people into the buildings. So that's something I want to do today. So we'll be throwing people in these buildings and having defenses in all these different buildings, which I think could be a really cool way to do it. So we'll definitely do that. And up here too, in this little bank area and down here in the inner city, stuff like that. We'll just get droids all over the place. So now we need to start filling up these defenses we just created. What I like to do is I just take a blob of droids. Should get some commando droids in there. Perfect. And just throw them around. And remember, you can always just copy a bunch. And if you need more, just paste them when you run out of droids. Or if you spawned in too many, just delete them. So yeah, I'm just gonna just sort of space out these squads, and then more meticulously sort of micromanage them later. And right now we're just sort of getting the baselines down. I'd love to put some up here, yeah, because these guys can like look over the edge of this city. That's dope. Might even put a turret up here. That'd be cool. Might put a turret up there. Can you also do it over here? Heck yeah, we're putting more dudes that way. That's sick. Kind of wish there was another balcony over here, but oh well, it's okay. All right, let's get some more units here. Toss some up here. And the reason why I do this instead of going back and forth and individually picking out these units is it just saves time in the long run, because once you've moved all the units into the various places, then you can just go ahead and meticulously place them instead of having to keep going back and forth. You only have to go back and forth a few times instead of over and over and over again. Oh, look at that. That's cool. It's a cool statue. I like it. I like it a lot. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Let me get some out in the streets there. Okay. Some up here. I'm showing the whole thing. Like, I'm showing the process, man. It's something people have asked me to do for a while, and so we're just doing it. We're doing the full thing. No holds bar. No speeding up or anything like that. If you were hoping to see the process, here you go. This is it. This is how it's done. In my videos, at least. I don't know. People could have more efficient ways of doing them or whatever, but this is the way I do it. Takes a little bit of time, but I'm gonna spawn more units here. More as a safety precaution. We'll go And you can see there's a bit of lag while you spawn in those units. There you go. We'll go ahead and place the ones we've got down right now, but then after we'll fix it up. Ah, dang it. Okay, so this is a glitch sometimes where if you copy and paste sometimes, then it won't allow you to place the units onto the item. So in case that happens, you might have to respawn a few things. It's super annoying, and I don't know why it happens. It doesn't happen all the time, you'll notice. Yeah, like with these crates, I can place units as I please, but with some of them, you can't. Yeah, we're going to need tons more units than I placed down here, so get some more going that way. Let's see. Be able to... There we go. Yeah, get some guys on the edge of that speeder. That looks pretty fly. Get some dudes behind that. Get some of you guys behind that. Hear it happen again. Oh, no, wait. Maybe not. We can get it on one side. Perhaps there's something blocking. Oh, okay. No. Oops. Control Z. Control Z is always your friend. We're just going to delete those then. And copy them from over here because we know those ones work. There you go. Perfect. Okay. Another one that didn't copy well. Oh god, the wall. There you go. Yeah, we didn't even really need that one there. I guess it's fine. Move those guys this way instead. Plop some of their friends like this. Very nice. Yeah, we could do some more down here. More. You always got to be careful though, and I find myself doing this all the time. Is that you spawn in so many units and you really just fill out the map and you get it to be so cool looking and you get just tons of units, and then you press play and you're like, wow, this lags so much. So you got to be careful of that trap. You know, just because a battle looks sick when it's just totally filled out doesn't mean it'll look sick when you press play because of all the lag that you might get. So really be careful about that bit. And there's ways to work around that too, that I'll show you later. But one way is like if you want to have this massive assault, but you don't want the defenders to get absolutely steamrolled, maybe you give the defenders like 25 more health, which is just like a quarter more health than the attackers. And then their defense will naturally hold out a little bit longer. Or vice versa. You want a small attack force, because you can do this. I've done it before, where clones, they're supposed to be stronger than the droids, so you give them a smaller attack force, and you give them more health. And the droids have more units defending, but they're less strong than the attackers. So there are workarounds for every problem you run into, and we can go over some of those too. So, not to worry, we're doing the full thing. I mean, I'm gonna add vehicles to this battle. I'm gonna add waypoints. This is going to be a full battle. I don't do everything in every single battle because sometimes it's not necessary. But for this one, where we're gonna be really trying to do the full shebang, we'll do it all. We'll do it all. Because I'm just trying to show you guys everything. Everything. Alright, so had a few too many droids there, so we'll just start putting them up into that city area. We're not going to fully do that quite yet, but we'll start. These droids in this building, there's not a ton of places for cover in here, actually. There's a few, but not too many. We'll scatter them around the building here. Sometimes I like to put guys just behind columns and stuff like that, so that way when the attackers go around, they'll be sort of blasted in the butt, and then they gotta respond to that. I think that's a cool method, and it's something that actually happens too in battles, so makes sense. Put a guy there. This won't be a huge defensive point, but we'll get some troopers. We'll have some dudes around for sure. We'll get it there. Guy there. Okay. Oh yeah, let's go back to these balcony guys. Might put some turrets up here. If I remember in the end. I like to do vehicles last. I like to just handle the infantry first. And then do vehicles the last, because vehicles can kind of be a pain in the butt. They also provide a bunch of challenging issues in terms of balancing, or they can actually fix balancing issues as well, in terms of which side is too powerful or which side is too weak. So vehicles need to be used in very specific manners, or they can mess things up a bit. So just word of caution when putting down vehicles. Okay, so we got the troopers like that. Alright, how about these guys in here? And this will be an actual video. Like, I'm not gonna just build all this and then not do a video on it. So this will be the real deal. We'll do the battle. I'll probably upload the video itself before this. So I don't know. I'll upload the battle, then this will come up, and that way you can see the battle if you want to beforehand or whatever. Well, if you're already this deep in the video, you're probably not gonna watch beforehand or whatever. There's this little closet here. I want to get a droid in there. Behind that barrel. There you go. Cool. Cool, cool. 2 commando droids. We'll get one there. The other one, go behind a pillar there. There's a lot of rooms in this building. Dang, son. Some closed off rooms. We don't need to occupy every single room, but a few of them might be nice. I'm actually going to unclip camera position, see if that does make things a little bit better. Cool. Makes it easier to sort of navigate the map. I hate building things in interiors. It makes for cool battles, but it can be a very big pain actually trying to like navigate the rooms and things like that when you're placing units, or you might miss a room or two, or I don't know, rooms can be very hard to attack, so you get a balancing issue there too. So it can be kind of a pain to put together interior battles going on, but I think they're cool looking, so I like to do them quite a bit. Alright, get some guys behind that counter there, and they'll sort of guard that entrance. Alright, I think this, well, we could probably use a few more troopers in this building. I think that'd be nice. Just to get this back room done. We're going to delete this because it's kind of annoying. Ships have large hitboxes, so they interfere with battles quite often, so I don't really want that happening. Okay, here comes some more droid. Hello, droidy boys. What's up, dudes? What is going on? And I know some people like to place units in F3 mode, which if you start doing that, that's totally fine. It's up to you. I mean, I don't care. I'm not going to be personally offended if you don't use F2 mode. I just use F2 mode because I like to have everything in one place. I don't like having to switch between F2 and F3 mode, so I tend to just use F2 mode. Yeah, unclip camera position again to make things a little bit easier when going up this way, because now we're going to be placing some units up yonder, since we sort of dispersed amongst those buildings. I'd like to get some droids in this town, and then this town here. Really get them everywhere if we can. Yeah, straight up. I'll get some in that market too. And I already have some units in there, but we can get more over that way. Okay. So, start placing some dudes around this market area too. And I think we have enough cover in here where we don't, and in this full top area where we don't have to really add our own artificial cover. We'll just use the natural cover. I guess this is decent enough, and it should be quite all right. All right, a lot of bazooka units ended up here. I guess that's fine, but not the most effective unit to have in a close range close quarters situation. Alright, so that market's done. Get a few droids maybe behind these vehicles here. These will explode though, so that can be kind of goofy. I'm a goofy goober. Rock! Alright, get some over there. I'll get some in that little garden area. Just sort of spreading them out's nice. Just getting them in a lot of positions. And since we're more in the interior area, it's okay to have droids be less frequent, but in better positions where they're going to have to round corners and things like that. The clones, that is, in order to attack them. Because the clones would have already had to go through that massive block of defenses in the beginning. So now, you know, giving them a little bit of a break to fight less droids at the end here makes sense. It also makes sense in terms of how the droids would be defending. Once you get to the end of sort of a battle, they'll have less troopers in less places because they have used all their troopers in the good defensive positions already, you know? But it'll also, like I said, be harder for the clones to kill them because one single droid in a good corner, like around these houses and stuff, could get 5 clone kills because all it's got to do is just spray down that corner. That's all it's got to do. Just spray in that corner, so it's not as hard to defend. Whereas the beginning bit, you know, they're sort of more in the open there. It's a little bit harder. A little bit harder for him. I don't know what to call this video. Maybe City Under Siege or something along that lines. Maybe we'll get a good clone commander in here. Actually, these LAATs now officially don't make sense because we had the droids defending. So let's go and pick up the mechanized AV, which is sort of the droid equivalent of the LAAT, and we'll plop those there instead. Just makes more sense. Okay. That section down there seems alright. I'll get some droids defending around here. And some behind those crates too. One over there. Alright. I have that that Eminem song Business stuck in my head. I'm even the biggest fan of Eminem, but it's stuck in there alright. I don't know, I like Eminem. I think he's really talented in terms of a rapper. His flow used to be really good. These days I don't like his flow that much because he does sort of the same like choppy like no 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 no, like I don't know, I can't do it, but like he does the same flow for almost every song now, and it kind of irks me a little bit. So I don't love that sort of new Eminem flow style, but it's not bad. I liked Kamikaze. That was a good album. And I like some of his old albums, like the Marshall Mathers LP and stuff like that, but I'm just more partial to various other artists than to him. Like, I'd rather listen to, like, Kanye or, I don't know, Big Sean or Tyler, the Creator, or someone else. Like, if I were to pick someone, I'd probably listen to them over him, but every once in a while I'm like, man, I could use some Eminem, you know? But I mainly listen to older Eminem. I don't know. That's just sort of my take on that. Okay. Plop some more of these folk down around here. And get some over there too. Sort of in these various courtyards, because there's quite a number of them actually. This is a big map. I picked a really large map for this. Probably shouldn't have, but oh well. Delete that door because the AI cannot open doors by themselves. So, just having it there is not great. So a smaller little office area in here, but we won't populate it. Because I don't want to lag this too much. Let's see. Where else? I don't know. I'm not going to populate these little towns over here. Maybe we'll commit more troopers over this way. But I think we're almost done with the droids here. Just about. Just about. I don't want to add any more, or else I'm worried about lag problems, so we're going to stick to the number we got right now. These guys need to be fixed. Alright. Get one down this random alleyway. Cool. Okay. That's looking good. These guys made it here. Lots of commando droids in this last little batch here. Get some in that little ding-a-ling. My ding-a-ling. My ding-a-ling. If you guys can name that artist. It's a deep track. A stupid track at that, but that's fine. I'll put a commando droid there. Okay. Okay. We really only do have like 5 more droids here that we haven't placed, so might as well. How about we plop them down right there and that'll be fine. Okay. So now let's get some turrets and stuff in here. So if you click Galaxy at War, then Vehicles and Special, and then you click on the Confederacy, you can see that it's split up into Aryan vehicles, droids, heavy vehicles, light vehicles, medium vehicles, recon vehicles, and turrets. We want turrets because this is a defense. Of course, for your personal battle, you can do whatever you like. We could do a mortars tend to be a little OP. E-web cannons are good. Geonosis cannon wouldn't really fit here. But we do an AT turret way up here. Way up here. We'll plop it down right there. This dude can man it. Get in there, bud. Here you go. Let's see. What's the range on this thing? Definitely far enough. Oh, very far. Holy cow. Yeah, that thing can hit. That thing can hit all right. All right. We'll get 2 of them. 1 down here. Actually, might as well make it 3. You can always edit later on. And how about these things? They're not blocked by anything, right? They can fire by free will. I always like to test the turrets out. Very good, very good. I want to have 1 down here too. Again, you can always delete after testing the battle before having that final product. There you go. Okay, now it's time to get some clones in here. So we'll go into human, single, Star Wars. This time we're going to go into Republic. And first decision is phase 1 or phase 2. I'm going to go with phase 2, I think. Then you got all these clone units. I have a few more than you guys probably do, but I mean, you can easily just pick whatever you like. I mean, it's no bone off my back. I don't know what I want to do. Law Squad. Oh yeah, these are the pink guys. How do we do Commander Wolf? I haven't done Wolfie Boy in a while. He's the 104th Battalion. So I'm going to do a sergeant in the front of a squad. A couple of DC-15As behind. 1 DC-15X, the most overpowered weapon of all time. Well, there are similar ones that are also overpowered, but well. DC-17M, put one of those in there. DC-21, 1 DC-19, a VATR-25. And some DC-15Cs to fill out the remainder of the squad. Alright, cool. So then you're going to go player and then pick player 2 because it's different than player 1, which is the droids, and therefore they will fight each other. Now we can go into some of this other stuff. You can pick no advance if you never want them to move forward and only want them to retreat. You can pick no retreat if you never want them to retreat backwards and only want them moving forward. That's what I want because clones ain't no cowards, and also the battles last way too long if you put them on retreat mode. The AI gets really kind of into pansies, and it's no good. Fire mode free, but you can also do hold fire or return fire. Return fire is where the enemy will fire at you, and only if they fire at you will they fire back. Your troopers. Advance ratio and retreat ratio. Not gonna mess with those, but that's essentially the rate at which they'll move forward or backwards, I'm pretty sure. And it's pretty good usually at standard. So yeah, these guys are ready to roll. They got the settings I want them on. Bring them to the back of the map here, and we will Control C, Control V. Spread them out pretty good too. Yeah, get them nice and spread out across this expansive desert. That should be good. Now we might want some vehicles here, right? So we go into Galaxy at War, vehicles and specials, Republic, and then yeah, we'll do an ATT. This is a big daddy vehicle. It is very powerful. So what I want you to do is click on the vehicle if you want to do this. U6, shield on. I'm going to remove that. That makes it considerably less powerful because then the enemy doesn't have to get through a shield. But with that shield gone, we'll put 2 of them. So real quick, we'll just copy these troopers, paste them. Only 4 go into the ATTEs. And we'll plop them into that ATT. And then with the clones already in it, then we'll copy and the ATTE and paste a second one. If it's like off kilter weirdly like that, just move it slightly and it'll fix itself. Okay, 2 seems good. You might have to use 6. Yeah, shield's back on. Remove it again from the new one. And yeah, having no shield is really beneficial to tanks. If they're really OP like ATTEs and AATs. I don't always take them off, but it can be good if you do. Maybe we'll just stick to these 2 ATTEs for now. Now, of course, I want Wolf in this battle, right? Yeah, you gotta have Wolf. So, Phase 2, Heroes. Scroll down, he's at the bottom. Wolf, plop him in there. Make sure you make him player 1. I like to allow the commanders to have retreat mode. That way they can, fall back if they need to or whatever. Do we think the droids need like some AATs in here? I think so. I think we'll just search it AAT, all lowercase, and it'll come up. Maybe just 1 at right here. U6 shield, we're gonna remove that. Also copy some droids here to plop in that bad Larry. And just toss them in there. And then if you click on it, since it's a defensive vehicle, we're going to click this little arrow here till it has the Ghostbuster symbol around it. And then it won't move. And that's a good thing. Oh, I made Wolf player 1, didn't I? Meant to make him player 2. Like the rest of his boys. Okay, so now you're going to want to select the attackers. All of them. Make sure you don't get the defenders in that little selection group. U6, 2, add. Okay. So, now we're going to explain why we do things like that. So, if you press F3, you go to this little waypoint flag. You click Add at the top right. Enter, put in 1. Okay. Then, down at waypoints, click Add. And you will notice that you get this little, like, cone thing. You can go ahead and click anywhere on the map. It'll add this cone with a 0 on it. This is a waypoint. Now, you want to remember what the first waypoint you added was, what number it was, and this is 0. Then you can go ahead and click Add here again, right here at waypoints, and you can make another one further down the road. Then from there, you can branch them out. Make sure to click Add every time. So we'll have one going into this building. Then we'll go back to this one right here, select it, click Add, and place over here. And you'll notice that it branches out this way. It doesn't go from this point here over to here. It goes from this middle point. So the clones, once they reach this point, they'll split off into two sides and go their separate ways, which is a good thing to have going. Then from here, we'll do another add and we'll put them in here. And that way, you know, these droids are close enough that they'll engage with the clones by themselves. But then at the end of that, they'll head this way, and that's probably a smart move to do. Okay, so then you're gonna make sure you're in F3. Go down to this weird like doot doot doot. It's the trigger one. It's 3 lines connected. Click on that. Right click in this empty box. Click add. Then you get this input. Click 1. Okay. Condition. Right click. Entities. You get this box. Click tag. You're gonna do 2 because remember that's what we made the clones. Click OK. Commands down here. Click add. Other. Actor to waypoint. Selector. Tag 2 because that's the clones. Click OK. Whoops, I accidentally closed that. Just click OK once. Don't click it twice. And you'll be in this properties for actor to waypoint menu. Waypoint, make it 0 because that's the first start of the waypoints we had there. If you have multiple waypoints, you just need to figure out which one you want them to go to. The clones, that is. So you can send them to whatever waypoint you want, but if we send them to 0, then they'll follow that trajectory the whole way through. So that's what we want. So now that basically makes it so the clones move through those waypoints. Then we're going to add a second command. Add actor state, selector, tag, 2, health, 200. So double the health of the defenders right now. Because there's more defenders than attackers, and clones tend to have more health. So we'll see if that works out. And yeah, pretty much done. You can just go ahead to the bottom right and press start, and your battle will begin. Now we did assign the droids to that U6-1, so you can see they all have 1s above their head. If you wanted to, you can go into this trigger and add, make a second trigger. Entities, tag, this time we pick 1 because that's the droids. Add actor state, and you can pick their tag to be 1, and you can make their health 75, for example. I'll probably remove that, but now all these droids will be 75 health instead of 100. So we're cutting them down a little bit. And you sort of want to play with this and add and remove things as you go. So that way you essentially are making it more balanced through this rather than adding or removing more and more units or whatever. It cuts down on lag a little bit and can seriously help. So I hope this tutorial sort of helped you guys out and you guys sort of understood like how this went. If you want to see the finished video, check it out. I'm sure I'll post it unless something went horribly wrong and I wasn't able to finish creating it, or it crashed or something like that, in which case that sucks. But yeah, should be a pretty interesting battle. Pretty excited to see it myself. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to click that subscribe button for more content, and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be alerted to whenever I live stream or upload. Thanks so much.